I have my prosthetic testicles.
On the Jensen overchange is just nuts. So,
Yeah, no! You're welcome here anytime, but you come out with a bird on your shoulder and then say we can't. How am I supposed to not ask about the bird?
Will Ferrell has a superpower, and it's not being funny. It's refusing to admit anything is funny. He'll walk onto a talk show with a live bird, hand a host a kitten, and swear it's a deadly mongoose, or show up dressed as Little Debbie threatening violence, all with a completely straight face, and everyone around him just breaks. So buckle up, cause we're running through the most painfully dry moments Will Ferrell destroyed celebrities without cracking a single smile. The Tight Pants War. In a recurring late-night sketch, the host sings a dumb little falsetto song about wearing tight pants, pacing around in a bowl cut and a striped sweater. Then Ferrell walks out dressed exactly the same, claiming he is the only man in town allowed to wear tight pants. The two of them march at each other, harmonizing in this absurd falsetto turf war over trousers. Ferrell's dead-eyed, unblinking glare while singing about pants was too much. The host folded almost immediately, giggling through every verse. Bro committed to a clothing rivalry like it was a blood feud.
I don't know who you are or where you came from, but I'm the only one in this town that can wear tight pants. Don't wake the snake.
The Bad Soccer Dads. On a very polite British chat show, Ferrell and his daddy's home co-star Mark Wahlberg got into a deadpan argument about being soccer dads, real ones. Ferrell started listing incredibly specific insults about Wahlberg's aggressive sideline behavior. Wahlberg fired back deadpan threats, and the two of them debated hypothetical suburban dad violence with total seriousness. Sitting right next to them, screen veterans Mel Gibson and John Lithgow completely lost it, reduced to helpless wheezing on the couch. The whole champagne-sipping vibe of the show just collapsed. That's the Ferrell effect.
And I realized I had lost my mind, and I just said, never mind. Just try to.
The talk show swap. This one's a heist. Ryan Reynolds was booked on one late-night show in LA, Ferrell on a different one in New York. Without telling either network, the two of them secretly swapped. Ferrell walks out onto Reynolds' show and insists on doing the exact interview the host had prepared for Reynolds. So the host, totally flustered, starts asking about Blake Lively, about Reynolds' kids' Halloween costumes, about his workout routine, and Ferrell answers all of it with sincere, deadpan updates about Ryan Reynolds' personal life. Never once acknowledges he's not Ryan Reynolds. The host just gave up and laughed.
Said he was running late. Which usually means he's not going to show up.
Right.
And,
The garbage can lunch. On the set of a certain newsroom comedy, there's an improvised take where Steve Carell's character describes his lunch as a, quote, delicious falafel hot dog with cinnamon and bacon on top. Most actors would build on the weirdness. Ferrell, in full Anchorman mode, instantly grounds it in the saddest possible reality. Quote, those don't exist. Well, I got it out of the food basket at the end of the lunch line. That's a garbage can. Carell instantly drops his prop and collapses laughing, while Ferrell, stone-faced, just calmly asks for another take. He out-logicked the absurdity. Checkmate.
Hot dogs with cinnamon and bacon on top.
What do you mean, one of those? Those don't exist.
I got it out of the food basket at the end of the lunch line.
The Mike Honcho confession. Staying on set on the racing comedy, John C. Reilly improvised a confession to Ferrell's character meant to be this big, vulnerable moment of loyalty. Instead, he whispers that he once posed for a magazine under the pseudonym, quote, Mike Honcho. The name alone is just perfectly stupidly funny, and it detonated the entire emotional scene. This time, even Ferrell couldn't hold it. Both of them cracked up over and over, blowing take after take. Proof that the man who breaks everyone else has exactly one weakness: a flawlessly dumb fake name. But look, the talk show bits and the movie sets are warm-ups.
If you could hear me, if it got into your brain somehow that I spread my butt cheeks as Mike Honcho.
We still haven't gotten to the live bird, the patriotic thong, or the cowbell that broke an entire cast. Stick around, because the deadpan only gets more unhinged from here. Little Debbie means business. Ferrell shows up on a late-night couch in full drag as the Little Debbie snack cake's girl. blue gingham dress, wide straw hat, the whole thing. He explains his movie career isn't paying like it used to, so he signed a 30-year mascot contract. Then, when the host tries to ask normal questions, Ferrell shifts his posture, locks eyes, and starts describing in chilling detail how he violently disciplines his children if they disrespect the snack cakes. A massive man in a children's dress, calmly threatening domestic violence over baked goods. The host slammed the desk and couldn't speak. That's a fat W for deadpan.
What's with the costume? What's up? What's with the...
You mean this dress?
The dinner party prop. On that same polite British show, Ferrell gets asked if he keeps any souvenirs from his films. He calmly explains he has a special box he brings out at dinner parties. Then he produces the prosthetic, anatomy from the climax of one of his comedies. The bit where his character rubs them on a drum set. He's holding up these hyper-realistic silicone props on mainstream television with the pride of a man showing off an Oscar, casually remarking that it, quote, looks like a crazy person. The host and the entire audience just dissolved in shocked, blushing laughter, sociopathic casualness as a weapon.
I have my prosthetic testicles. I have been known to bring them out occasionally.
For
a dinner party.
Don't mention Professor Feathers. Now the bird. Ferrell walks out for a normal movie interview with a massive live cockatoo perched on his shoulder. Obviously, the host asks about it, and Ferrell immediately gets defensive and cold. Quote, "So we're not going to discuss the bird on my shoulder." When the host pushes, Ferrell snaps, "I'm not angry at all, but there's no reason to bring Professor Feathers into the conversation. It's not relevant to anything, okay?" He then blames the host for agitating the animal, saying the bird just wanted to hang out low-key. He brought an impossible to ignore distraction, then gaslit the host for noticing it. Genius.
You have a bird on your shoulder. It's moving out of the back of your...
But there's no reason to bring Professor Feathers into any sort of conversation.
Professor Feathers.
And now I've just revealed his...
The angle of the dangle. This is a legendary live sketch ambush. In a sketch about a guy taking patriotic dress day way too far, Ferrell wore normal American flag shorts during dress rehearsal. But right before the live broadcast, he secretly swapped them for an improvised, barely there star-spangled thong. So mid-monologue, with his exposed backside inches from a castmate's head, the entire cast scrambled to look away and choke down laughter. He capped it with the immortal line about the angle of his dangle being, well, we'll let you look that one up. He weaponized his own near nudity to break the whole room. Pure chaos.
You're wearing shorts and a half shirt.
Yep. Does anyone else want coffee?
Dr. Stephen Poop. Here's a rare one where Ferrell himself shatters. He's playing an incompetent doctor in a live sketch, having just told a couple he misplaced their baby. The script called for the episode's host to enter as a second doctor, but a costume mishap backstage forced a cast member to walk out instead, unannounced. Ferrell, not expecting him, gets hit cold with the line, "I'm Dr. Stephen Poop. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for your son, but I can do the robot. That'll be $5,000. Good day to you both." The surprise, plus the name Dr. Poop, bypassed Ferrell's defenses entirely. He and his co-star turned away from the camera. Gone. Even the master breaks sometimes.
I'll tell you this quickly, and it's probably going to sting a little bit. Your son's a witch.
what? Oh my God!
The bird in my mouth. In a cheery, old-timey musical sketch, the usual weirdo is a character with a giant forehead and tiny hands. But when Ferrell drops in as a guest singer, he completely out-weirds her. With the bright, bouncing cadence of a 1950s TV host, he stares into the camera and deadpans this story. "I put a bird in my mouth, then I went to the movies, then I laughed at the movie, then the bird flew out, but the bird choked on popcorn and I gave it CPR, and the bird flew away, but I caught it and ate it raw." The cast frozen behind him in their fake smiles physically trembled, trying not to lose it. Delivering pure horror with a song and dance grin is an elite move.
Forehead! Sorry.
Would you eat the moon? Playing a wildly erratic sports broadcaster, Ferrell interviewed a serious astrophysicist played by Jeff Goldblum. Out of nowhere, he leans in and yells, "Hey, if you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself?" Goldblum hesitates, trying to find a logical answer, and Ferrell immediately fires the kill shot. "It's a simple question, Doctor. Would you eat the moon if it were made of ribs?" Goldblum, a trained dramatic actor, just genuinely breaks, completely defenseless. He tried to play it off as his character finding the broadcaster ridiculous, but you can see it. The man had no defense against rapid-fire nonsense delivered at full volume with zero blinking. That one's an all-timer.
Being the top scientist in your field or getting mad cow disease, what would it be?
Who's wearing the vest? And here's maybe the cleanest deadpan demolition of all. Ferrell shows up as an exotic animal expert in a safari vest, promising the rarest creatures on Earth. The handler brings out a tiny, ordinary house kitten. Ferrell, gripped with terror, whispers, "This is Mulan, a short-spined Peruvian mongoose." Looks calm and cuddly, but she can be very aggressive. Please, no sudden movements. The host laughs and points out that it really looks like a kitty cat, and Ferrell, staring him down with absolute contempt, delivers the perfect line. "Steven, who's wearing the vest?" The host was reduced to literal tears. Then Ferrell brought out a guinea pig and called it a Mongolian bush tiger that could take down a full-grown moose. Unstoppable.
What do we have here?
This is Mulan. And Mulan. Easy.
More cowbell. And we have to end with the greatest of them all, because this is the one that broke an entire room. In what's widely called one of the best sketches in television history, Ferrell plays a fictional cowbell player during a recording session for a famous rock anthem. The thing is, during dress rehearsal, the sketch kind of underperformed, so Ferrell made a decision. For the live show, he deliberately picked a shirt that was way too small. Then, as he hammered away at the cowbell, his shirt rode up, exposing his stomach, and he began dancing closer and closer and closer to the drummer, thrusting his bare belly directly into the guy's line of sight. The drummer could not survive it. He ended up literally biting down on his own drumsticks to physically stop himself from laughing on live television. Even the legendary stone-faced guest star was visibly cracking up behind the glass. And here's the genius of it. Ferrell realized the loud cowbell joke alone wasn't enough, so he weaponized his own body, turning a music sketch into an act of slow, sweaty, unbearable physical invasion. That's the whole Will Ferrell formula in one moment. Total commitment, zero self-awareness, and a complete refusal to ever let his victims off the hook. He didn't just break the cast, he made television history doing it. That's not just funny, that's a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Now, if you want to see more comedians who broke everyone around them without cracking a smile, click on the video right here. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.